Welcome to this week's Commerce Connection Weekly TV show. I am pleased and honored to be joined by Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, my friend.
Well, thank you for being here. It's been great. Tell us, why are you in Walworth County? What's going on?
Do you know, Travis, I'm in Walworth County because even though the state Supreme Court is based in Madison, that's where all 7 of us work on the 2nd floor of the Capitol in the East Wing, I really don't think that there are too many more valuable things that all 7 of us can do but to get out of Madison and get around the state and see all of the people in their workplaces and on the streets, just to visit with them and see what's on their mind and see if they have any ideas for how we in Madison can help them. And I always find my visits around the state to be helpful because I learn from different viewpoints and I learn from the different suggestions and ideas that the people around our state have. And my visit in Walworth County yesterday and today has been very, very productive. We've met with a number of elected officials and others, attorneys, store owners, people who are working all over the county. And I have to tell you, this has just been a terrific visit, not only for the ideas that we've heard and the conversations that I've had, but also Walworth County is just a beautiful county, and we've been everywhere from Williams Bay to Delavan, Elkhorn, town of Bloomfield, and everywhere I've gone, people have just been very, very kind and very welcoming. And I think it does a world of good for the people who are privileged to serve in Madison, to be public servants, to get out and have these kinds of conversations. It's just been great.
Well, and I have to tell you, I mean, the beauty of being with you the last couple of days is really seeing how taken aback so many people were that a Supreme Court justice would just walk into their jewelry store and just stop, or their men's store, and just say, "Hi, I'm Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman. What's on your mind?" That's a really noble endeavor, and I for one, want to make sure I say thank you.
Oh, thank
as
you.
a representative of the county. I love it when people that we see on the news that that represent us, that actually come back and hear what we have to say. So I for one feel very honored to have been a part of that. So thank you for allowing me to do that.
Thank you, my friend. It's an absolute privilege. When I introduce myself, people are usually taken aback because they're probably thinking that this isn't something, like you say, that happens every day. But really, if we're going to be honest, the privilege is all mine. The fact that I get to serve in Madison, the fact that I get to have a voice on some very important issues that come before the state Supreme Court, and honestly, the conversations that I've had yesterday and today with people all over the county, and are similar to the conversations that I have with people from all walks of life all over the state, because you get a perspective, a viewpoint of the citizen who is concerned about state government and is concerned with how we can all work together to make things better. And so, although on the court we have a limited role when it comes to reviewing cases that have come through the appellate process or before the court, the fact of having those kinds of conversations help inform us and help us to keep in mind not only the reasonable expectations of the vast majority of the citizens of this great state, that they expect their judges and justices to, of course, be highly technically competent in applying the law, and the application of the law is paramount, but also to leave room and to apply good common sense that the people of this state, the people of Walworth County, the people of all 72 counties in this state expect. So from that perspective, it's been a very refreshing visit. I think in Madison, there tends to be one point of view that tends to be highly predominant in the county, especially in Madison, in the city of Madison itself. And you get outside of Madison and you hear a whole wide variety of perspectives that sometimes are a little different than you hear if you simply stay in the city of Madison. And although the city of Madison is a wonderful place, there are a lot of wonderful places in our state, and Walworth County is one of them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And for me, one of the nice things is, you know, what I thought I knew of the court. You've helped, you know, illuminate some of what I thought the Supreme Court did and what it did, and what it actually does. So, I mean, would you mind if I ask you, what have you know, doing the visits you do? Is there a common theme of maybe a misconception about the Supreme Court?
I think so, and I think during my campaign 4 years ago, one thing that struck me was, I guess to put it gently, the less than entirely comprehensive understanding many people have about what our Supreme Court is and what we do on the court. And I remember thinking at the time that it would be awfully nice, one of the reasons why it would be nice to get the job is to take advantage of the opportunity to go around the state to let people know what we do at the court, and such things as its basic structure, the fact that there are 7 members of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. We are elected statewide for a 10-year term, and that our job is to review the work of trial courts, which in Wisconsin there are the municipal courts, which different municipalities such as townships and villages and cities would have, but there are also the circuit courts, which used to be, prior to 1978, were referred to as county courts, but they are now circuit courts. And then we have the Court of Appeals, and then at sort of the top of that pyramid is the Wisconsin Supreme Court. So our job is to mainly review the work of those other courts, as well as to be responsible for the administration and supervision of all of the attorneys who are licensed to practice law in this state, and to be responsible for the administration of the entire court system in the state. So really, I consider it a very important part of my job to get out around the state, to meet with as many people as I can, both at the courthouses and the government centers, as we have the last day and a half, but also, as we did most recently, just walk up Main Street and stop in at the stores and the bakery to add to sort of the list.
Sure.
And just introduce myself, and people are taken aback a little bit when I say, hello, I'm Mike Gableman, I'm from the Supreme Court, and I hand them a card. And I think the initial reaction is, well, you must be running for something. I'm not running for anything. I've got 7 years to go until I run again. I've got 7 years left on my 10-year term. And the fact is, I think that it's important that the citizens, the ones who own our government, the ones that we in government are supposed to serve, we are public servants, and government exists to serve the people, not the other way around, is to make sure that as many people know as much as possible about what the courts do, so that they can make an informed decision when it comes to exercising their right to vote.
Well, and I think it speaks to your integrity as well. I mean, it's one thing for any politician to show up when they're running for an office. It's another thing to show up when there's really no personal gain other than hearing what your electorate has to say. And I found that to be very, very refreshing. And I, for one, once again, want to thank you for that, because that speaks well of your character, speaks well of our court. Some of the recent reporting on the court hasn't been as favorable as I believe it should be, just based on the fact that we have 7 people of high integrity on that court. And for political reasons, it seems to me that maybe some of the reporting isn't necessarily showing the light of what's really happening up there.
I would agree with that. I think that there are a lot of the reports that have come out of recent activities, recent incidents, that are simply not entirely accurate. And I think the founders of our country trusted wisely in the ability and the interest and the capacity for the citizens of this country to become as informed as possible, and to know and have a knowing voice and a knowing vote when it comes to exercising their right to vote. The one thing I want to get back to is,
Sure.
You indicated that it was a very positive thing for an elected official to do. I don't want to kid you, and I don't want to kid your viewers, that it's actually a lot of fun. It's simply a lot of fun to have that kind of interaction with people. And we've had some visits that have been a little more colorful than others, and but by and large, people are happy when their servants, their government servants, come to talk with them, simply for the goal of getting their viewpoint and what they have to say. It also is for a very self-interested reason, in that it helps me do my job better once I go back to Madison. It helps me to talk with a wide range of people, and we have talked with a wide range of people the last couple of days, and I'm always blessed to have that whenever I go out throughout the state. And you listen to a wide variety of viewpoints and opinions, and you do what everybody else does. You take all of it in and sort of analyze it for yourself, and you take what's good, and but it's always an enriching experience.
Well, I, for one, once again, want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We very much appreciate it. I hope you won't mind if I put your contact information so people can get a hold of you.
Absolutely.
And email and your number in Madison, so they can certainly get a hold of you if they have any questions or concerns.
Perfect.
And obviously the Justice is encouraging that. So thank you for watching. Do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe. And then also below you'll see a share button, and it'll have Twitter and Facebook and all those type of things. Be sure to share this with your friends and family. You'd be doing the Justice a very good favor, because frankly, I think people need to understand what a high quality individual he is, and how well represented we are. So once again, thank you for watching the Commerce Connection Weekly. We'll see you next Saturday.